Hello, hello. Hi, guys. It's Brianna, and I'm officially in California working on my tan, so I'm no longer a pasty white girl. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the Spiritual Sisters podcast.
Brianna, you're in my old recording room.
I know this is weird.
Isn't it weird?
It's a little weird.
And you're fully settled. Oh, hi, everyone. I'm Gabrielle Celeste. Welcome to the show. We're super excited because guess what? Well, we'll talk about the topic that we're going to speak to. But I'm really, it's kind of wild how the tables have turned. You're back there. I'm in San Diego. Maybe I'll be moving back. Who really knows? This Jupiter and Cancer transit, everyone's moving. Everyone's having babies. What's good?
I have no words to say. It's weird.
It's weird being back in your hometown, you mean?
Yeah, pretty much, but I'm adjusting. Tyler's living his best life. He's been jumping in the pool after work every single day, and our kid is with him every single day when he jumps in, and he's like, swimming? Swimming? And I'm like, oh, okay. And he takes the dogs on a walk. It's super cute.
Yeah. At time of recording, so we're going into the summer solstice. It's actually tomorrow, and this one's dropping. Oh, it's dropping right after. So happy Cancer new moon. The Cancer new moon is on the 25th, and it is literally the best new moon this entire year because Jupiter, the sun, and the moon are all in the constellation of Cancer, coming from one of your favorite Cancer queens. And it's just a really good time to just set forth the energy that you're calling in for yourself, consider what you want to create. And I just kind of feel like, actually, at the end of the episode, we're going to pull a card for the tarot new moon. That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Or tarot new moon, the Cancer new moon with the tarot cards. We're talking about the tarot today.
Subtle drop.
The tarot. It's actually tarot. It's not the tarot. The tarot.
Actually, yes, I did know because of your course.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a shameless plug, right? For ARCANA. It's on demand. I did the live class yesterday, actually. But what's interesting about tarot is that there's so many nuances with it because it's more open-ended and you don't have as much structure to the system as maybe you do astrology and human design. But I was like, Brina, we haven't talked about tarot. We said we were going to. And I was like, oh, perfect. This is the perfect opportunity to talk about it and to plug the course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Perfect opportunity.
Anyways, so is that your check-in? Is that how you're doing?
That's how I'm doing.
Our trip's coming up very soon. I'm excited for that.
I don't know how you recorded in here. It's hot as a witch's tit, dude. It's so bad. I'm glowing, and this isn't makeup. This is sweat if you're watching on YouTube.
Oh, I like it hot though. I like it being hot in my bedroom at night. I love multiple sheets on top of me. I don't mind a good sweat. I don't know. I've always been that way.
It needs to be freezing in the room for me to sleep. Studies say that you actually sleep better in a cold room.
Yeah.
Not Gabby.
And not me. I guess not. But anyways, we're talking about the tarot. Gabby's maybe moving back. I don't know, guys. My birthday's on Sunday, so there's that. Jesus here. We're going to the spa.
Going 33, and it will be 32 this year.
I ain't mad at it. 32 is a rough year.
30s have been pretty good, I should say.
Yeah.
I can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just realized, I was like, wait, because as I was speaking to the transits for the new moon, I just realized that it's fourth house is home. That's where all of my Cancer placements are at. The fact that I'm potentially moving home, I'm like, damn, astrology doesn't lie.
Guess not.
Yeah. So there we go. Okay, so the tarot, Brianna, what do you know about it?
Oh, that it scared the absolute shit out of me when I had you pull a card for me during my pregnancy.
I was thinking about that because I was like, dang, it was super literal. And I don't know that you and I took it that way. I think I took it more from the metaphorical sense. Oh, yes. Because Brayden asked me to pull a card for her when she asked about what her, I guess, delivery was going to go right?
I think I said pregnancy in general.
Yeah. And I was like, the death card. And I meant it more in the metaphorical sense that pregnancy, motherhood, you're dying. It's a whole new version of you that's coming forth. And I think Brianna took it literally.
Turn of events. Guess what, guys?
She almost died giving birth. So, man, all of our vagina issues, like, what's the issue there? I don't know.
No, sometimes I wish I had a wiener.
I think it'd be easier sometimes to be a male for sure.
Yeah, but then you have to run the risk of getting hit in the nuts, and that hurts.
You're more exposed, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I'll have everything tucked in. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. So it scared you, but it's fun. It's actually, it used to be a game. So I was thinking this episode, we could touch a little bit on the history of it and how to use it and maybe a little bit of a breakdown. And actually, fun fact, this is the first module. So into the course, so you'll get a little peekaboo preview of that. But, so if you don't know this already, Brina, the way that the structure of the tarot, the tarot, and the history, I think, is what we're really just going to capitalize on. Again, you can go back and listen to the episode 55. We had a guest, Kate Van Horn, on, and she was featuring her book, The Inner Tarot, and that's a great book as well. So you can get an idea of like how to use that to practice your intuition. But initially, what tarot started off as was it was a game. And later on, as it developed, as the gypsies took it across Europe, people then realized that there was a predictive element that allowed one to expand on their intuition. But essentially, much like astrology, human design, tarot and astrology for sure, but tarot is one of the OG older systems. And there's a lot of parallels with astrology, with numerology, with certain archetypes, just the psyche in general. So your conscious, your subconscious mind. And essentially what tarot is used for is your self-enlightenment. And it's the journey to discovering your inner self, your higher self, your soul, if you will. So yeah. You have a couple decks, don't you?
I have one deck, but also rewind that back. I had a thought pop up.
Yeah.
So does that also mean the Ouija board is also considered a game too?
We're not playing with the Ouija. Yeah, that's dark
no,
magic.
no, God no, please no. I don't want to play with that.
Uh-huh.
Keep that over there.
Uh-huh.
But is that it's technically considered a game, right?
Yes, but it's dark. It's dark. It's
yeah, but it's also like another way of communication.
Totally. I think that one, just because maybe it's rooted in something a little bit more nefarious, whereas like I don't think tarot is, unless that's how you use it. But I think the Ouija board just opens you up to other things, whereas tarot doesn't. But it does kind of get a similar rap because if you don't understand it, people fear it. Like anything, really.
That's how I would see it. Because, like, I mean, you can essentially think of Ouija and tarot being like a dark sense and getting dark intel.
I was so terrified. I was so terrified to play with the cards. And now that I understand it, I'm like, this is beautiful. I'm like, no, this is fun. Like, but I remember ordering my first deck off of Amazon, which I do not recommend you do. I recommend you go in person to a store and purchase it there and let the card find you, the deck find you. I was just like, I was like, what am I doing? This is going against everything I've been raised with from a religious standpoint. But now that I understand it, I'm just like, honestly, the tarot is what allowed me to tap into my intuition the most, and it preserves my energy as well. Mm-hmm. So in terms of the structure of tarot, this episode might be quick and dirty, honestly. I don't think it's going to go past like 25 minutes or so. But anyways, I felt like it was important to capitalize on the structure, and you can kind of get an idea of like how much detail is in the system. But there are the major arcana cards and their minor arcana cards. Do you know what arcana means, Brianna? You know.
I should.
You should. You know.
I really should.
Secrets.
Oh, that's right. I remember saying her hair's full of secrets. I remember now.
So there's the major, which is big secrets, and then there's the minor, which are little secrets, right? So the major, there's 22 cards, starts with basically the Fool's journey to self-enlightenment, and the major arcana are all independent archetypes in general, right? And it's literally exactly what it sounds. It's like the Fool, i.e. you or whoever it is that you're reading for. It's depicting where they're at in their journey from becoming unconscious to conscious. And essentially getting more in touch with their intuition and their higher selves, right? Then you have the minor arcana cards, and those are divided up into different suites, if you will. Depends on how you enunciate that. And it's that goes into not only just the numerological standpoint of it, but also like the elements that are involved with it, and then also astrology. But I think it's really important to note that astrology and numerology are their own independent systems aside from tarot. However, for whatever the reason, they do kind of all work together, even though they are meant to be seen as separate systems, if you will. So, yeah. Did you know that before you edited for the course?
No, I had no idea. I thought it was literally a deck of
Mhm.
all one thing.
You know what's so crazy is like when I picked it up and then I was like, I had obviously started with astrology prior to. What was so crazy to me is that like I mean I did learn the hard way. I was like, wait, this works with that. And my brain's really like adept at picking up patterns and noticing patterns. And I think I've just always been that way. But then I like literally remember seeing, I was like, oh my gosh, this works with that. And that didn't come from like a book or anything like that. I was like, wait, like the timing of astrology directly correlates, especially to the major arcana cards. It directly correlates with tarot. So like if you pull a card, you based on whatever the card is, you get an idea of like when or like what time and dates are associated with that card. So like for example, if you pulled like the sun or the strength card, Leo season.
Oh.
Mhm.
So does each sign have a card designated to them?
Theoretically, yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, it does. So
That's
and
pretty
you can
cool.
also do like different spreads too. It's like you can pull I mean, there are like certain spreads you can create, and I know we're not really capitalizing on spreads for this particular episode, but like I know when I used to get year ahead readings, and now I'm kind of like feeling some type of way about predictions just because of where my life is at right now at time of recording, where like the reading that I gave myself for the year ahead was quite literally the most accurate reading I have had for the entire year, which I think is ironic, but you can do like each card spreads for like one each per month, like January through December. You can do like a daily card pool. You can do like past, present, future. I think that's also the beauty of working with tarot is that you can get an idea of like what's going to work for you or like how your intuition speaks to you specifically, and that's like through the practice of using the cards.
Oh,
Yeah. So history of tarot. So you know that it was a game, but do you know why it was considered a game?
no.
Okay,
I'm going in blind, guys.
she is. She's here for I'm driving, she's vibing.
Hmm.
So on the actual cards themselves, they're pictures. There's actually no words other than like the well, you have the aces, but like at the bottom if it's labeled that way. But in the like the OG systems, well, the OG, I would say card decks, they weren't labeled, didn't have a name. And the reason for that was because most of the population at that time was actually illiterate. So they couldn't read. So they only were left up to interpretation by like visually observing.
So they would just look at the picture and just basically describe it from the picture.
Hmm.
Weird.
Hmm.
Weird. So then did those descriptions, did they continue on to today? Or does it just like
Um,
evolve like
it's kind of
constantly?
it's kind of evolved and consistently. There's Carl Jung. I think the term is psychotherapist. He like passed in the last 100 years, but he has his own like psychoanalysis psyche understanding of each of the different archetypes of the cards and how it relates, and like that like has become its own interpretation, but like from an OG standpoint that's how it started.
Hmm,
Hmm.
that's wild.
Isn't it wild?
Wonder
So
what kind of drugs they were on.
do you think they had drugs at the time?
Oh, I'm sure. Something.
What?
I'm sure.
I don't know. I don't know. So anyways, historical records of tarot, they date back to as early as the 14th century. And some enthusiasts claim that it goes back thousands and thousands of years, but there's actually no scholarly evidence to prove that. Brianna, which years are the 14th century? I don't even know. I should Google
14th
that.
century?
Is that like 1300, 1400s?
I
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I'd imagine. I promise we went to school, guys.
We did go to school. We are educated. So apparently, the earliest mention of tarot is in 1332 when King Alfonso XI of Leon and Castile, that's my Hispanic accent, guys. Oh my gosh, she can talk. Or I would just say Castile. It depends.
Castile.
Brianna, say it in a white girl accent versus a Hispanic accent.
Castile? Castile.
Castile. Do you know that? Have you noticed how Southern Californians, even though we are Mexican, guys, exaggerate?
Do you want to know what term that we use so much that confuses so many people?
What?
It's when you're saying something and you're like, yeah, no, absolutely.
Stop it. Oh my god, this is so okay. We're gonna pivot real quick. It's so fucking dumb, but it's like it's so true. So like if you're especially Californian, if you're from California, you don't call California Cali. You just don't. We just don't. Okay? I don't know.
No,
So,
if you call California Cali, you know you're just visiting.
Yeah.
And you haven't lived there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So when we say like no, yeah, or yeah, no, it literally means the opposite of what it is that we're trying to say. Like, no, yeah, Brianna.
Like, hey, do you want to go somewhere? But you need to do something first. Like, yeah, no, wait, give me a minute. I'm going to go with you.
Or like, no, yeah, I'm going. Like, what? What are you trying to say?
No sense. But if somebody says, like, if I say that to Gabby or somebody else around here, they're going to be like, oh, cool, yeah, I know exactly. I just said it right now. I'm not thinking about it.
Do Oregonians do that? No, huh?
No.
No, they don't. Yeah, okay.
I don't know what Oregonians do. Oh, I do know that they do. You know, potato wedges? They don't call them potato wedges. They call them JoJo's. Don't know why.
What about soda? Do they call it pop?
No, they call it soda.
Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe that's like
Texas
an Ohio
and
thing.
like everywhere else typically calls it pop. Or sometimes it doesn't matter what kind of flavor soda it is, it's a Coke.
Castile.
Or we're back to this.
Castile. Leon.
Kings of Leon is all I think of.
Leon. Okay, anyways. So the church, because the fucking church, you know what? I need to stop saying that because I said that in another episode. I need to stop. Okay, I'm checking myself. The Roman Catholic Church condemned tarot as a device of the devil, referring it to the devil's Bible or the devil's picture book. Did you know that spiritualism, I mean, that's its own like thing now in today's world, but like spiritual work in general was actually, it came before the Catholic Church. So like technically shamanism is the oldest form of religion.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm deep in the study of it right now on my free time.
You really are.
Man, I haven't even talked about that, like, or made that public, but it's a challenge. It's not easy work by any means. And I'm just like, why do I do this to myself?
Seems very tedious.
It's tedious, and like you're looking at the ugliest parts of yourself, like for me, a weekly basis. And I'm just like, why? Like, this isn't fun.
I only do that when I'm PMSing, and if somebody breathes wrong, I want to just...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Claws want to come out.
Actually, my periods have been really... Like this last one that I had, the easiest one I've had yet because I've done so much energy work. So, yeah.
Can't relate.
Yeah. So the name tarot derives from the Italian dex called tarocchi, meaning triumphs or trumps. Say that in Spanish, Brenda. Tarocchi.
Tarocchi?
Tarocchi.
Gabby, I hate that you think that I can't speak it.
So, okay, this is my joke with Brianna. I was like, Brianna, do you understand what I'm saying when I want to be an asshole and speak in Spanish? And then I'm like, Brianna, your husband's Mexican. More Mexican than you, dude. And he's this like 6'7" tall white dude from Oregon. So yeah,
You
definitely
always
not.
giving me a run for my money. He's getting really tan while being down here. I'm like, what's going on?
He
What
really,
happened?
he's truly embraced our culture so much.
Absolutely.
He wears it well.
Hmm. He sends me this reel all the time, and it's like, if you see me getting yelled at by a short Latina, just know that's where I want to be.
Oh, I love that. So, okay, tarot decks, they still to this day consist of 78 cards, 22 known as the major arcana cards, which you spoke to, and the 56 minor arcana cards, and those are divided up into the four suites, the different elements. So it's wands, it which is fire, you have the cups, which is water, you have pentacles, which is earth, and then you have the swords, which is related to air. And they still stand true today. So aces are the zeros, and then you have the aces are the ones. So aces in a deck are literally, they translate to the number one, and then you have two all the way up until 10, and each of those four suits have that as well. And each one means something different. Widespread material was unavailable for tarot decks until the printing press came around in 1435. So we had about like 100 years of it just kind of being real taboo and like something that you maybe had a challenge to get your hands on.
I'm curious to know if it was an actual card
Mm-hmm.
or if it was like a sheet of paper, like a sheet
Mm-hmm.
of fabric
Mm,
back then, like what it looked like in comparison to what they look like now, because it's a deck of cards.
yeah,
But
I
back
wonder.
then, was it fabric or was it paper?
I wonder. Yeah. Huh. Hmm. So society was again not literate until the Reformation in 1517 through 1648. And basically, up until that point, they relied on the imagery, the symbols, and quite literally the pictures of the cards. So it was about 200 years ish that they were just like really tapping into their intuition. Apparently, I had a past life during this time, so I kind of wonder what previous me was like tapping into because she definitely was a witch. I had that in a reading once. I was like, yeah, that hits. That feels right.
I think mine was medieval times.
Same.
This one, yeah.
Was this medieval times? Would that be considered medieval times? We got to
Hmm.
go back into our
Don't
history,
ask
guys.
me. We need
History,
to.
man. I mean, I probably shouldn't say that, especially as an astrologist. Anyways, okay, moving on. So somewhere along the lines, people, society, the collective at the time, if you will, began to use tarot for fortune telling, and the gypsies used tarot for fortune telling, and this is how the practice of tarot became widespread throughout Europe. So technically, it's Italian and European, and they somehow brought it over to North America and the rest of the world, baby.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. And modern tarotists focus on using the cards for self actualization and self understanding. Speaking of sex, which I actually didn't mean to say that word, there's a lot of references, like visual images, to like a penis, which is typically translates to the wands. Because if you look at the OG decks, it looks like the tip of a dick.
The wands are a dick? Nice.
Yeah.
I'm never going to look at them the same now
Yeah,
when I
you're
pull a
not.
card.
What is it? It's Fallus? Phallus? It's
Oh, the one
just
that you and Nicole were talking about?
I always so like here in San Diego, it's a big fishing town, right? Because of the waters. And I was like, Dad, what's the word to describe the waters? Because the fishies here, they follow the current. So there's bluefin
Mm-hmm.
here because of the type of water. And he's like, I think it's, and this is again, like, I don't even know, someone check me. If the word that I'm saying actually is the sexual version of the word, and he's like, I think it's pelagic, but if you don't pronounce it correctly, there's a very similar sexual word, which refers to like penis.
Oh, I was going to go flaccid.
That's
That
well,
made no sense at all.
that is an unerect penis for those who do not know.
Anatomy.
Okay. Final comment. See, right here at 25 minutes. There we go. Whether or not you use the cards for divination or to awaken your imagination or foster your growth, there is an underlying spiritual connotation to tarot in general. So if you know, you know. Go purchase Arcana if you want to get deeper. And
It's
you'll
actually
learn how.
pretty good in-depth course, you guys.
Yeah, Brianna had to edit it. She did it. You know what? You busted that out like a G, and I was like, Brianna, we're chilling for the month of June. Like, we're probably gonna do something in July, August, but yeah, I was really excited about like just the love that I put into it, and also you're able to observe like in that session. Um, what I did was I actually did a live reading, and sorry, in the course, not the session. I did a session in the course, and you can observe and learn what my specific reading and approach is, my style for teaching tarot. So yeah. Should we pull one, Brianna?
Yeah, let's pull a card.
All right, we're doing this from. This is like just my current deck.
I hope we get an Ace of Swords. That'd be so funny.
And you have the aces. Now you can't. Well, Ace of Wands. You're not going to unsee the penis on it now. And he's holding it. Like there's like whoever's hand that is. It's like to the wand.
Stroking.
Stroking. Ooh, it just fell out. Okay, which one is this? Ooh, the Ten of Wands reversed. Well, the Ten of Wands is endings, burnout. So in reverse, sounds like this is a calibration, recalibration, reset energy. And that makes a lot of sense for the Cancer new moon, especially this Wednesday, because it's following solstice, which is at 7:42 Pacific Standard Time on June 20th. And I just kind of feel like the energy is truly going to reset right now in June. And I'm curious because I don't know how that's really. I mean, I feel like we know how it affects you, like specifically. I think in general, it's reset energy. Like the year starts over again right now. The light is at its peak around solstice. But what I'm saying is, I think in the second half of this year, I think it's going to look a lot different for everyone. And I think for you, it was the move. And for me, maybe too. Who knows?
Yeah, I can see. Well, for sure, mine move.
Mm-hmm.
Yours, I can see it.
Yeah, I feel like mine's a little bit more of like a harder read just because I have a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So until next time, happy new moon, everyone. Happy end of June. You know what I'm hearing in the back of my mind? Heat Waves by Glass Animals.
Ugh,
That song, I love that song.
I don't want a heat wave.
No, it's not going to be a heat wave. It's just like the song goes like late nights in the middle of June. I'm like, that's just like an ode to June. I love June.
It is a good song. I know what song you're talking about. I thought you were insinuating that there was going to be a heat wave. I said, please no.
No, not quite. Anyways, well, have a good rest of your month, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.